While other survivalists were still starving, these two enjoyed a steak feast, catching the e-catching and an eel. There were also bowls of mud flats for an after-dinner snack. Louisiana wetlands. This area is 160,000 kilometers b. Countless amphibians and carnivores are everywhere. It is a dangerous place. Among these, Mai and Lucy come here too. Survive at first, they are suspended, right? Above the harsh swamp now too. People need to get down. There are many dangers below. Feeling a little embarrassed. Can only do it step by step. Lucy first unties the rope on her body when going down. One of her legs unexpectedly got stuck above. Got out of the bad tiger right after that. Now standing on a dead tree. Then Mai go down. It's easy to go down too. The ground to people standing on the swamp still unclear about the surroundings. My bow. Lucy, stand still. Wait for me now. And intend to investigate alone. I besides can carefully with the stick yet. How far to go? Found a big guy in the water. Might not panic. This time, even take the branch from the side. Start teasing the crocodile. Wait for it to bite. Then go around behind. Now it's easy to handle this big crocodile. Just hold its head tightly to control its face. With this huge amount of protein, the two of them had just entered into vacation mode, but then he hesitated. He had already thought about it for a while, and it was not good to cook without fire when carrying around such heavy protein. Hey, this crocodile today looked at the calendar, had to give up protein oil meal. Now Lucy started to actively climb the tree. This time she was really great when she came back tomorrow and saw him was stunned. Just saw Lucy climb to a high place, reached the place to hang the parachute successfully, then started to untie the trap after busy time finally finished. For the survivors, this parachute is very useful then. Lucy slowly quickly caught it, and then the sunset. Just spent the night where this trap played an important role. Find two trees at the same distance apart and hang the trap up. This thing has a connecting lock already done. Hammock off the ground in the evening. Sitting on it to people very satisfied. This wait until the last sip of water. Look at the many proteins in the water. Just 2 days tomorrow, so they just sleep. Like this the next morning, the two of them have rested the first night, go down to the swamp prepared to start the trip. Today the rivers in Louisiana all flow north. Just follow the direction. This has a high chance of escaping trouble. Now the couple has packed up their belongings, each holding a broken piece of wood, and started walking, moving in the water-filled forest. The two of them are extremely careful. Basically, the broken piece is used to pave the way along the way. The couple also found a large tree. Did not fit in with the surrounding environment, which was a bald cypress. After Lucy curiously observed for a while, then continued on a hiking journey long. Until now, many hours have passed. The couple are very hungry and thirsty, need to find ground to make a fire. Fortunately, then they reached the shore. Then they quickly came to a forest with looks like this is a good place to set up camp. There are a lot of things to do, but the most important thing, the fire source. The two of them stood here, discussing for a while. Now there is still some overhead tomorrow. Remember that Lucy is still a pair of glasses. This can save time and effort in starting a fire. Next is needed dry tinder. Start collecting dead leaves on the ground in the forest. Very quickly collected. Next gather in a sunny place later, then take out the glasses. Smoke can be seen from the pile of leaves just like that. Tomorrow has been persistent for a long time. No, now the couple can only pause first, wait for the sun to come out, then continue. However, the sun at this time, not so big, all around just getting dark, like lights out. Even so, Mai still persisted. It took hours to go back and forth, like this at Mai's insistence. Finally it got better. The fire, it started to smoke. When the fire is small, secure the boat firmly. Then she cleaned the tree branches and tied the rope to the other end. Just like that, the hammock was high up, ready to super comfortable to lie on. But there's only room for one person. Wait until tomorrow night. Tell Lucy to get some rest. Else spend the night alone on the canoe. Just enough to get through the night. Waiting until next morning, the two packed up and set off again. Today's mission was to find. Quickly add wood to the fire, and you will. Ground waiting for a while. At this time, it was raining heavily. Neither of them were disappointed, because this was the opposite. Still excited. Out the raincoat and started to get water, and the two of them started first. Lucy felt a little depressed, but it got better soon. She was happy for a while, waiting for the rainwater to be collected. Let's into the kettle and continued walking in the heavy rain until noon. Waiting for the rain to stop, the two of them rowed. Be able to show off your skills. Lucy, the boat in the forest, after a tiring day and a half, saw the ground. When they set foot on land, they clearly felt the difference. Separate, they started planning and make a place for him to hide tomorrow to collect, but it had just rained everywhere, was wet. Could only collect around some sticks. Used long knife to peel the firewood. Inside, quite dry thing. This also gives the two people confidence. The situation is not. Went to the river and filled the bottle with water. So bad, finally bring fire-making tools and Benui. Now take out his tools, then clasp his hands together. Lucy saw her husband working working hard and immediately came over, helped my hold the top part, and switched Lucy's TI. Although she didn't look as strong, after a while of perseverance, a spark quickly appeared. Pick it up and blow on it with a small flame to compensate. She returned. She made a pot to boil. You can't relax at this time. Help. Finally, the wood collected is very moist. Need to add little by little. Wait. As the fire gets bigger, continue to add more wood. Finally, successfully kept the fire steady at night. It was hard to raise the hammock. Lucy will be on guard at this time tomorrow. We'll start sleeping soundly tonight. Make a campfire not too bad. Wait until Tuesday. Long time no see. Protein, water, tie the egg back, and put it on the fire. Is going to catch some fish, and the net becomes a fishing net. Who found 2 pieces of wood tied at both ends. Start fishing with the net. Dip at once to test the water. Wait until it gets to shore. It's easy to catch them, although a bit small, but proves easy to get. Protein, my full enthusiasm is coming here. Continue. The second time harvest is better. Just sold 2 people take out the antfish. It's quite big. Boil after a while, waiting for the water. When Lucy, picking it up, felt like a suit of armor, but the 2 were still very happy for a moment. Then Lucy also learned the method of removing the head and tail. As usual, tomorrow, next, catch another tank cleaner. Messy. Same way he just dropped it into the water to catch fish. Lucy started cutting into pieces only to see her swinging the knife in her hand. The little monkey beside her was start boiling. You have a pot of clean hot water. Stunned for a while. Wait a while now. Pull the blind net up. They were spongy. First sight, there were a lot of inside. Also caught. Don't look at it. So fierce, but once brought to shore, the meat of this fish is quite delicious. Try to let it bite your gloved finger. Just see it. Not let go. Teeth extremely sharp. Today, there are a lot of food grilled directly on the campfire. Wait a while, couple. Wait for a while to cool down and take it out. Enjoy it. Grilled, crispy, delicious. Taste with great flavor. Protein is more than UFA eating and nothing to do. Couple began to explore the area, going all the way in. Now and then, vaguely realizing there's a river ahead, and to prove it, he let Lucy pick up the leaves and throw them down to see the direction the water flows. At this time, the 2 people began to discuss. My suggested bringing them over here. After a while, process it and make, but this was not an easy task. Return to the camp. My beau Lucy, pack up. 2 of them were getting busy just as Lucy was about to clean up, when she said that there was a spider. Her clothesmate came and used the dragon sword to then took it out and threw it away. Until calm down again, then start packing things. And this is not the main difficulty. Is the canoe. It looks extremely heavy. Hammock. Lucy is quite comfortable lying on it. 2 people take turns pushing each other. Occasionally get stuck in the swamp. Need a lot of effort to push. Rest before moving far away, not knowing how long to push this boat. The 2 people almost exhausted their strength, panting continuously. Finally, with difficulty, reached the other side. The 2 people got on the canoe and started gliding water, not knowing why. Why did baby fall on the road tomorrow? Immediately grab. Now, basic survival factors have it. If Lucy sees it, maybe she will scream again. Need to quietly let go. After a short journey now, the couple came to a wide open river. Just climbed out. Saw a large ship ahead. Traces of civilization appeared. This challenge was also successful. Been paired. Enjoyed drinking sweet spring water. Camp tastes a bit brackish, but it is acceptable. They successfully replenish. A lot of water has arrived while looking for protein to people walking on the shore of the swamp. Crayfish can be seen everywhere. This is a good choice when thinking about catching some. Suddenly, 2 people saw a baby not hunting EELS underwater and basically see the hungry couple approaching baby desperately pulling the eel away, trying to escape from here. However, can miss free protein tomorrow. Advance with a skinny plant. When separated, once it was hit, he took out the dragon knife and directly attacked the catching knot while Lucy dealt with the eel. The 2 of them together successfully caught the knot and the cow by waiting until the eel is processed at the farm. Before the quality of the meat is very good. After finishing, then start processing. Baby process quickly according to the same process, but that is not all. Cut a piece of cloth, turn it into next bag while waiting to roast eels and snakes on the campfire tomorrow. Quickly into the swamp to catch crayfish here due to their incredible numbers. Soon picked up 1 for all. Them into a bag. Now Lucy eagerly wanted to pick up the grilled eel and take first the soft and delicious taste. And tomorrow, Huang has caught a lot waiting until he returns to the camp. Has packed and brought a bag full of shrimps. Today's food is rich. Lucy feels happy. Just cut off their heads and tails and grill them on skewers over charcoal. Enjoy the delicious food. During this time, 2 people have emotions. Last protein dozens of times more than beef. Emotions after are really surging. Enjoy delicious baby. This story is not over yet. Crayfish is also grilled right after that. Although there is not much meat, the quantity is had. Been enjoying a day off in the evening. Suddenly started raining. Luckily there was shelter to protect from the wind and rain. Time came on the third day. The swamp never lacked predators. A little ghost, red and black, is considered a delicacy. But another child to people look at the scene and be amazed the next day to hunt better. Might found a big tree, cut it, and sharpened one end, wait until back to camp. Then make a sharp blade too. Improve hardness, Lucy, burn it on the fire. Now tomorrow continue to cut trees in the forest. Each person when looking at Lucy's masterpiece tomorrow feel very satisfied with. Just need the maintenance team. Dangerous filming. Up, I started their hunting trip. Today then, into the forest, the two began to look for prey. Luckily soon discovered something only to see my slowly speed up, chasing a knee. The wild brother unfortunately let it escape. When the two met, they immediately started giving dog food to the audience, although they were disappointed that they couldn't catch it. But for the oil marsh area, both of them soon continued hunting. Right then, not yet gone far, I discovered something. Only saw a big mouse crawling slowly on the tree. The two of them made a detailed plan. I stepped forward and responsible for poking its ass. Unexpectedly, the possum kept climbing higher and higher. He could only climb the tree very quickly. Reached the right height, I continued to stab it with a spear. Successfully got the possum. Lucy was waiting on the ground, responsible for taking her down. It seemed too worried this time. The beast ran to grab the tree and then quickly climbed down to check. He followed the target himself. Still had to do it himself and succeeded again. Mai has a kind heart. Directly end career knowing, while Lucy was nervous. Breakdown a little. Money button in the arms planted and cried after calm down. Returned to camp with grill the spoils directly on the campfire. Wait a while for the tet screw to evenly golden brown, then cut the thigh meat into pieces for Lucy to taste and feel the delicious steak. Propane must say is the guy throat. Then tomorrow cut meat and prepare to eat. Suddenly heard Chinese not far away, but today is too late. They can only consider the next morning. The two people packed their luggage and brought a little fire for backup. Started walking towards the sound. Last night crossed short stretch of the swamp. Set foot on land again. They heard the sound again. After stepping on it, soon the couple was to the riverbank. At this time, I cut a piece of tied to the top of the tree, ran and shouted, "Help!" At this time, a steamboat quickly rushed over. This challenge succeeded well. Said maybe you will not believe what the couple found. And nature made them even happier when got 10 kilos of beef, which was sweet when eaten raw and crispy and sweet when grilled on charcoal. Also caught crayfish and water lizards. After the meal, eat some sweet and sour apples, blueberries. The mountain range has strong sense of wilderness here, covered in mist, lush vegetation. Motto couple of this issue came here to survive. Hike leading to lost in the lush forest. The two walked to a flat place and started counting their belongings. First aid kit, a camera, and a black trash bag with some trash inside. They didn't currently knowing where they were. The trip was a bit confusing, but if they slept and wandered around, they would easily get tired. The two of them kept going through lush places filled with poisonous creatures and wild animals like wolves and bears. Must be careful when tomorrow find a suitable wooden spoon. Cut it with a knife. This thing is quite suitable as a self-defense tool. Then continue to step on the gas pedal and walk for a few hours, not knowing where to go. A frame beautiful scene that appeared before the couple was for the eyes. The place was quite spacious. It was a good place to camp. It would be even better if there was a stream nearby. Started exploring with a curious mind. Unexpectedly, there was a stream, so they decided to set up camp here. The two of them returned to the empty land from before. Today's work was still very heavy. Water and place were both top priorities. Need to start right away without thinking too much. Choose a good place considering the cold night, so must light a fire. First they walked nearby, then started collecting dead branches and beans. Soon, the couple has gathered a bunch of fire-making materials. Now bring out the first aid kit and take out a bottle of glycerin, inside which can treat some diseases. Besides, at this moment, Lucy quickly out another bottle of purple medicine. Has the effect of treating moisture, but when glycerin and potassium permanganate are mixed together, it will create a magical effect. For a while, Lucy immediately started the first thing to do, opened the lid, put potassium permanganate in the plastic box, then bottle of glycerin, and pour in. No reaction immediately, but after a while, the temperature gets higher, and Lucy shows a very surprised expression. Then continues to add glycerin. Fire flares up immediately. Instant chemical method to make fire. Really got smart. The bonfire next to it. Quickly add wood to keep the camp burning, then get the container from the trash, then continuously collect water from the stream. After filling it up, then return to camp to cook sticky rice directly on the fire. The next step is to build a shelter. I started collecting wood nearby to drain when he was busy and tired, and continue building the shelter. Now that the wood is done, take out the thick rope, then to tie one end of the bundle of trees until it stands straight. The wood at the bottom is expanded one by one, just like that. Completed the framework of the new hiding place. Tomorrow tried and the stability was quite good. He lay down and started to examine it. Lucy was stunned for a moment after hearing this. Both of them had a moment happy. Together then, as usual, we'll get dog food to everyone. Then the couple take out a large garbage bag and cut it open to increase the area next around the top of the frame. Lucy then collect pine needles spread on the ground. So there was a mattress. The next step was to find a leaf frame for the surroundings. The two of them walked out together while Lucy was collecting. Unexpectedly found a pile of bear poop on the ground. This also means there is a bear nearby. See, there are berries in there maybe. It is a promotion, however. To have settled down can only be more vigilant. Continue to work hard. Collect leaves to cover the frame tent. After a busy time, the last hiding place was completed. Couple can't wait to get in and enjoy, feeling quite satisfied. This waiting for tomorrow night, now fast asleep. However, Lucy couldn't sleep because worry the bear lantern nearby. He sat by the campfire and warmed up the next morning because she didn't sleep well yesterday. So Lucy will stay up tomorrow. Go out, and the insurance team started their hunting trip. Usual, a wild luck came in. This moment something was found. Pick it up and examine it. It was a turtle. This was a good thing, however. Mike thoughtfully held it in his hand. He knew well the nature. Lucy's way finally had to give up. This protein oil meal, by now, has been out for a long time. Waiting until he returned to the camp, he could only helplessly say that he didn't find anything after a while. This time, the two of them set out together to explore in different directions. Walking down the slope, there seemed to be something on the ground. There was a pile of corn-like things growing from it. The couple approached. Well, eat this. Two of them started eating confidently, found it sweet. It was probably dozens of times more delicious than the baby soup. After eating a little, get up and start collecting nearby. After while visit thousands in time and gun quickly gathered a bunch and returned to camp. Then the party. Today's wild corn was grilled directly on the campfire. Suddenly, there were so many delicious dishes that the two of them were still in a state of confusion after waiting 7,749 minutes. Cooked and the fragrant was now, and the two of them started eating. The corn was not only delicious, but they could also smell the aroma. After finishing eating, they took a nap according to the couple's time. After lunch, the first thing they did when they opened their eyes was to look for protein. Today, because they hadn't explored the stream yet, the two of them came here. Next step, follow it to search for protein. Rocks in the stream. If you search carefully, you will find something. Caught a crayfish, feeling very happy. Then the two continued to rummage under the stream to do by this method. Water lizard was also caught in the stream at this time. Couple felt very happy collecting many things, including water lizard and crayfish. When finished, the couple returned to the camp to start cooking today, ready to grill on the fire. Lizard and the crayfish both go through the method of pinching the head and tail. Wait until it has been slowly processed, then the thin branches and strung together. Start to put on the campfire and grill the charcoal. Like that, to each person has a string. After a while of waiting, the food is cooked. Just pick it up and start enjoying with crispy fish flavor. The amount of protein must say the school. Eat a little then. The two people immediately exchanged. Food was great that evening. Both of them huddled around the fire and spent the night like this, waiting for the third day. Not waiting for rescue had to start planning to get the master active self. After packing your belongings and carrying two self-defense weapons, come to the stream and go straight into the water. This is a tactic of two-person survivors. After walking along the riverbank at this time, they discovered a vacant lot nearby. They walked for about an hour to breathe fresh air. There seemed to be traces of an artificial tree in front. Just as they were considering whether to follow this path or not, suddenly Mike found an apple tree next to her, although it didn't look big. But this was also a rare food. The two took a few fruits below and started eating. Their taste was both cool and refreshing. Enjoy having so much. Afraid it's even better than you. After they both devoured the food for a while, they were thinking about bringing some to eat on the way, so took all the low ones at that time. Couple, the new couple walking along the lawn, feeling like today would be a lucky wash, had walked for while found a bunch of raspberries. Then tomorrow bent down and picked some up on the ground. Maybe this journey won't need to worry about food anymore. Collect and eat at the same time. After picking, the two stood up and set off while the couple felt happy. Suddenly there was a bear suddenly appeared in front of them. Both of them were scared that their faces turned pale and they stood still, not daring to move. However, the bear did not seem to pay attention to them, and then it left. It was confrontation. Face very close. Let's quickly get out of this. Walk all the way. On the grass, the couple entered the forest again. After wandering for a while, found a tent in the forest ahead. Mike quickly went there to check. While walking, saying it seemed like no one was home. The two of them entered the house to check, although the hope of being rescued was dashed, but it would be great to use it As a shelter for the night, it was already late. The two of them needed to go out and search firewood, then start to get water. Lucy is making fire here, still following old habit. Formula 2, mix them together. After a while, it starts to boil finally. Fire flares up easily to create an eye-catching fire right then. Tomorrow just brought water back, put on the campfire to boil. Tonight the couple spent the night at home. The next morning, goodbye, Forest Hut. Both returned to the stream to continuing. Down the stream, they spent the whole day wading through the stream. The further they went down, the more dangerous the terrain. They slowly walked over small waterfalls. Luckily, the end of the path they continued down the stream. Far when they discovered the house in front of traces of civilization appeared. This challenge was also a great success. Never seen such a comfortable wilderness survival experience. Natural outdoor swimming pool with countless sun on the side and lots of mussels in the water. Pheasant crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Sweet forest berries all the way. Protein never lacking either. Croatia, this land has many rugged mountains with beautiful but dangerous forests. There are also underground caves, interwoven, completely dark. Model couple of this issue came here to explore, leading to getting lost here at this time. Flashlight Mai was holding also suddenly went out. Two of them could only rely on lighter to overcome the difficulties. At the same time, first aid kits with them. Their top priority was to leave the cave. Choosing the right path is very important. Looking at the direction the wind is blowing, the lighter has determined the path ahead in this environment. Go as close to the wall as possible. Pass carefully. Don't dare to be careless at all. If you encounter abyss and not paying attention, took a few minutes to log out. Walking for a long time. Now the two have come to a place with stalactites, however, now not in the mood to watch them continue walking through the underground caves. No. How long they have been going, how long they stop. Rest now and then take out a bottle of alcohol and the first aid kit. Turn off the lighter first. Bring out the cloth and under the alcohol on top. That's how he makes a torch. Next light. It walked along the edge of the wall and returned. A while ago, at this time, on the ground, a source of water. Of course it is not recommended to drink directly. There is also a first aid kit that can be used for purification. Wait for Lucy to fill up her manhood. Continue walking after many hours of traveling. Now it was dark outside. The couple climbed the slope, then the space became narrow. Wait, when the couple reached another place. Many tiring hours they stopped and rested. The fire was now empty, so they could only relight the lighter. Tomorrow took out the wine, used it to add fuel to the lighter, poured some on the ground, then lit the fire. Flame was blue in the dark, sat by the small campfire and warmed up. It was timed. After finishing work in the dark, the two sat together and spent night together waiting for the next morning. Not only felt numb, but also cold. Stand, get up and go again. Couple eager to leave here immediately. Go everywhere. Downwind, it didn't take long. Found the exit. Tomorrow had fun for a while. It was great to be in the sun again. Two people here went to the canyon, climbed up. Before that, not go long, they started uphill, came to a crack. Now tomorrow took a handful of leaves. Miraculously the leaves flew up to play. After a while they continued on their way, passing the huge dead trees. Now Lucy was swaying behind him, looking a bit scary. Just come in. Style stated. Mai looked helpless for a while. Luckily, in the end, everything was fine. Smooth. Continue the journey for a few hours. Sit down and rest, lift the kettle, and replenish minerals. Chat. After drinking water, the terrain here has a lot of hidden mines. Don't step on them. Then the challenge is complete. After resting, they continued climbing along the rocks. After dozens of minutes, they successfully walked on a place with vegetation. Luckily, they found an oak tree next to it, which had a lot of fruit on it. Now food also came. To choose the ripe fruit, then smash it with stone. Then take the kernel from inside. Has sweet taste. Energy is added immediately in the body. Eat and collect for a while. Done. Then go next. Climb up rock. Now stand up and look around. What comes into view is wilderness, rocky hill everywhere. There are countless mines. Think about it. The couple still had to go down to the valley, find a safer river, and start walking. But suddenly ran like crazy until she got a tree full of thin red fruits. Sure, this wasn't poisonous and tasted quite good. It had taste like peach. After a while, picking more, then continue. Now walking on the rocky slope. The goal of both is to go down to Thursday Lung under the scorching sun. They immediately sweat profusely, sitting in the shade and rehydrating. Take a good rest and continue downhill. There are sharp pebbles everywhere. Suddenly, Mai didn't pay attention. One step slipped. Down he got hit in the foot. Excitedly cried out after turning his foot a little, then stood up and walked. Soon they reached the plains. The two walked on the land, vegetation and rocks. Suddenly, a pheasant in front of them. This is Very good type of protein. Picked up the stones and threw them away. It seemed to have been missed this moment. The couple was in the bushes, determined to make the chicken unable to see sunlight after searching for a while, but could not find it. But they found. Now a baby gnaw looks very alive under the bush. It didn't expect that it had hidden itself, was still seen. If the two of them were bitten, risk of death there would be, so it had to ignore this protein and consider making hunting tools. Shoot, find suitable resources, and around collect V-shaped fin branches. Then use your shoelaces to make elastic cord. Take another small piece of cloth. After 3 times 5 divided by 2, successfully made it slingshot. Then replenish some energy. Eat collected berries, then stand up and set off into hunting mode. Lucy stays in the same place, starts cleaning the rocks on the ground now, and then went to the places where the pheasants frequented. Something was discovered. Squatted down, looked at the bushes in front, lifted the slingshot and shot towards the target. Failed at first sight. The pheasant was still there. He quickly launched a second attack. This time, hit the target successfully, dashed up and pounced. Now there was dinner on the other side. Lucy was making a campfire, which was convenient to have on fire now. Tomorrow, return with the spoils of war. Spirit, step forward, both enter the sweet period, never before. Tomorrow, return and happily start processing food. After a while, plucking feathers, cleaning the organs. Once the rest of the meat is fresh, meat, start cooking tonight. Put some Western style on the steak. Take a stick and start grilling. After a while, wait, the pheasant meat is crispy. Grilled. Couple can't wait to eat with crispy chicken. Protein is dozens of times higher than beef. It tastes quite delicious. For a while, then sip some water. Spend the whole day like this. Time comes on the third day. The two people drink the last sip of water of the day. That day, up and start walking with foot on the gas. Today's mission is to find a source of water. Couple has reached the edge of a valley. The sight before their eyes makes my can't help but scream. Is water right below this? Is something worth happy, but how to get down at this moment became a matter of discussion. Lucy felt too dangerous. This moment made my laugh. If not go down, there will be no resources here. This moment, Lucy can only accept this cruel reality. Go towards where rocks stretch out. Seems a bit steep, but in fact, it is much more dangerous now. Mine is leading all the way downhill. Lucy follows, feeling more scared. Height just went down. Tears cannot stop flowing. Mai can only encourage her. Wait for a while. Lucy man began to face difficulty while Mai supported. Just like that, she slowly climbed down without stopping until the path became easier, passing through many lush vegetation. The sight that came into view was extremely beautiful. Mai rushed straight down to the clear lake, suddenly feeling like she was entering a dream. Music. Just have fun. Food was also found nearby. Pick a first fruit. Lucy Mai was filling the water bottle this way. They had a fun time. Collect and put it in the mouth of I. Added a little dog food for the viewers. When they finished, the two of them turned back to find a place with a cliff. They felt very satisfied with this. Let's hug each other again, and then officially entered the resort delicious mode. Figs is not enough. The couple set out to find protein, and the river is the most promising place to find food. Walking on the edge and starting to search, Lucy discovers something that feels very excited. Immediately called. My closer reached out and touched very quickly. There was clam. Continue to collect. Soon there will be a pile full. Wait until the couple returned to camp, then sat by the fire, put the clams on the hot coals and grilled to enjoy the sung fruit. During this time, eat some fruit. Next is the main dish. The shell has been separated, then slurp the fresh and delicious skull. This dish is full of water. Then Mai smiled sinisterly through a happy day like this. Waiting until the next morning, the two packed up and set off along the lakeshore, going through many hardships, climbing down large rocks, walking for a few hours. At this point, they reached a flat place. Suddenly heard the sound of talking. Quickly walked towards the sound. Waited until they arrived, found a group of people were active outdoors. Traces of civilization appeared. This challenge finally succeeded. Others went into the forest to survive, and this couple who were vacationing here easily caught a turtle with high nutritional content. They also took a picture of a giant custard apple eating wild sugarcane that was staying comfortable and spacious wild refuge. Amazon forest is the largest tropical rainforest in the world, known as the lungs of the earth. The vegetation here is lush, and there are countless wild animals among them. There are many dangerous animals. Model couple of this issue came here too. Survived. The two people went hiking and got lost in a lush forest, feeling tired. After walking for a while, sat under a big tree and resting. All clothes were Soaked my started to take off her shoes and socks. To support her hot feet, he stood up to take off his wet underwear. Lucy did not forget to pat her butt. Jokingly, by my sow after a while of playing, the couple continued their journey through the forest. After walking for a while, found something good in the forest, only to see my took out the long knife and cut it, then gave it to Lucy. This thing is called wild sugar cane. Lucy feels great. There is a refreshing feeling that brightens the eyes. Very strawberry vitamin. Sweeter than the sugar baby. The two of them ate a little and also collected more. Then continued walking by holding the long knife to clear the way. Lucy followed, feeling a bit confused after walking for a while. Then stopped and started planning the route to survive in the forest. The important thing was the river went along the lowlands. The possibility of finding the river is very high. The journey have not gone 180 found meters. The stream in the forest. Now my took the leaf, put it in quickly. Determine the direction of the water. The two people go along. It seems to have go big circle, but also overcome. Can only continue walking like this. Suddenly my shouted because in the forest there were many thorns that needed to be careful, but the difficulty was not over yet. Just when he stepped forward, then accidentally hit a hornet's nest. This time tomorrow. Screamed, feeling a bit disappointed. So they opened a path next to it. Then they found a river ahead that they could lead to. People escaped the maze with a goal. The couple also did not rush back and went into the forest, came to a wide open space, planning to build a place to hide. Jungle is a good construction shop. Tomorrow is chopping down trees in the forest, and Lucy collecting broad leaves. Clear division of labor, collecting rattan to make rope after many hours of hard work. Is the plan to build a big villa? The wilderness, the land has been cleaned up. Very spacious platform almost. Don't look for broad leaves in the bullet ant forest found above each one. Look, it's so small when bitten you will scream in pain just in time. Maya, starting to collect a turtle, appeared on the ground. Mr. Howe excitedly walked over to pick it up, thinking about how much food there was. Lucy felt sorry for it. If she ate such a cute turtle, she would even start crying. When Maya saw Lucy in front of her, she started giving dog to everyone and was about to give them a kiss. Then the work of building the roof began. Collecting leaves with the joint cooperation of both sides. A busy time too, Uncle. The shelter will be built soon. They spent all their time on this all day. It felt great to be in there. Night fell. The two fell into a peaceful sleep, waiting for midnight. Night suddenly heard a noise. Something in the dark came here quickly. Took the camera, but it was pitch black. Couldn't see anything at this time. Lucy saw a shadow in the camera. Luckily, it wasn't. Must be a big animal. It immediately turned around and went home. Next morning, the two of them got up. Lucy's skin seemed to be allergic at this time. She could rest in the camp today. She had to light a fire. My chose go hunt first and use camera team, put it on, start hunting. And Lucy, stand up, bring the branch and stick it on the ground, bring the turtle into the new house. Discover something on the other side. Screaming, run past Mai's place at this time. Pressed the wood on top first, then used his hand. Grab it. Although the blanket was not poisonous, the force was very great. The scene was sometimes very tense. If it was bigger, could even break. Luckily, this one is relatively small. Hugging the moon head and towards going the camp now. The two are thinking of how to cook, but without a campfire, everything is useless. Put the protein in the front pocket. My grabs that Lucy needs to catch. Getting used to this at first, but she suddenly screamed and quickly turned back, waiting until she calmed down. Now take the bag. Resolutely put it in and put it aside. Before he said yes, then went out to find fire-making materials, lush vegetation, a bamboo grove. It is quite good to use it. A material also has many uses. Collect some, wait until tomorrow, come back to camp first. Cut a piece can be used as a cup for water. Then he hummed and went to the river, filled it with water, went to hiding place, covered the mold with a layer of soil, prevented the hiding place from being damaged. Completed these tasks, everything was ready. Started taking the dry cover to divide it. Now you just scrape off the sawdust to make banui nets. Then rub after a fierce collision, but still no improvement. Feel a bit weak physically. Call your wife tomorrow to help you. There was a fierce friction. Then immediately lay down on the ground, feeling like it was still a matter of materials. Now, tomorrow, go find drier tinder to make a fire. To a giant tree, it seemed like. This tree contained full of small beetle. This table lives on tree sap. Leftover food flows out of the hole, creating a white substance. And this is also very flammable. Wait tomorrow to get it, then go back to camp, get some and put it right in fire. Then two continued to rub and rub for a while. Faces and ears turned red. Smoke came out. This time I picked up the embers and started blowing on it. Smoke got thicker, continued blowing. Successfully lit the campfire. After then moved it to a hiding place with a fire. Start cooking. Lucy goes to the river. Wash the sheep before processing the food. And tomorrow stay at the camp to boil water. The water just then pour into the tube cover. He suddenly heard the scream immediately, made my extremely worried and ran towards the sound. She waited until she got there and found Lucy stuck in the mud. She quickly pulled Lucy up and explained that she had seen the head of the snake. The shell picks it up and sees it's a rock, returns to camp. After a farce picks this one up, Lucy smiles, finally can part. Just leave it on the ground and let it go. Something else, so the turtle is a python. I brought baby Na and put her on the ground too. Practice Lucy's survival skills, intending to let her handle it. Lucy held a wooden stick and started contact with the python. After a series of howls, Lucy's play, she still couldn't do it. Finally, took the wooden stick and held it down. At this moment, Lucy weakly slashed randomly python to come out. Then they took baby and went to the river to start processing it and peeled it off. Cleaned up for a while, I went to the river and washed my steak myself. The process went smoothly, handled smooth catch. When the evening came, the two sat in the camp. At this time, baby Na grilled. The whole thing was cooked, and the couple started to eat crispy chicken flavor. Energy is added in the body weight until the next morning. Two people have fully rested, more worried about being rescued tomorrow. Out in the morning, soon found low-density wood in the forest after a lot of cutting. Just keep on like that to collect wood, and Lucy was picking up bark to use it to make rope. When the couple came rushing in, they started to lift large logs. This time, the river was discovered to be too shallow for heavy rain, so they could only then arrange the work of making the raft. Arranged it, tied it tightly. A long day had passed on this raft when night fell. The sky was raining really. The two were comfortable in the camp, waiting until this morning to leave this luxurious sanctuary. The couple had to try very hard to push the raft into the water. It was very stable. Sit-on just started going down river. This is one of hundreds of small tributaries in the Amazon. Wildlife can be seen everywhere. Some very dangerous as the creek joins the larger river. Now the two have come to a large place waiting to the middle of the river. The two people rested and observed this. Very quickly saw fishing boats on the river. Traces of civilization appeared. This challenge finally succeeded. Like this, probably half a cup rain more, while others go to the forest, still have to starve. This couple seems to be going out eating foods with extremely high protein content, fishing in the rainforest, catching many species of river fish. Just need to grab a delicious Na baby. On the way to experience an exciting adventure in the Amazon rainforest, the couple continues to try to survive again, this time going to the depths of the Amazon in the Columbia region. The two are lost canoe, lost on the river at this time. Cannot move anymore. This is a problem. Needs to be down and pushed by hand. However, need to worry about crocodiles, piranhas, and electric eels in the water that have not dared to go into the water. After a while of struggling, Mai's main force immediately went into the water and kicked a few times under his feet. Then he quickly got back up. Panicked. This was harder than climbing a boat, trying to move with all his strength, finally escaping the difficulty. Now they were going surrounded by vegetation in the forest. Peaceful actually. There are always dangers around. The couple slide too. A sunny water surface. Start inventory. Here a kettle, extrude water, a medical kit, a raincoat, a bundle of strong rope. There was also a cloth bag. When Mai took out something that looked like a quiver, he opened it and saw that it was a fire-making kit. He was very happy. Instant happiness. This is a good thing for survival. Even the tinder is fully prepared. Still not over on the canoe. There is also a hammock. Pretty good preparation for resort life. When finished counting the items, the current plan, both of them were looking for land first. It was uncomfortable in the water to stay for long. The couple continued rowing boat. Now the sun was shining warm, enjoying the fresh air of the old forest. But this beautiful atmosphere soon broke. Find a giant spider on a rotten tree trunk. When seeing it, felt vague in the heart. Don't mess with this guy. But I find this thing looks delicious. After that, they left here, continued moving in the frame forest. Surroundings are a bit familiar. This consumes thousands of calories of energy. Tomorrow, so hungry, it's not easy to find protein in this environment. Luckily, there's a short log. Found it dead and rotten. After a while of searching, but found nothing. Went to another tree and continued to examine. Took the long knife and chopped into it. Here, also empty as people say too. Tan 3 times continued to search. Tall log and rotten. After a while of visiting thousands, he began to search with his bare hands. Very quickly, there was something looking at this protein-filled larva. I was very happy. Lucy lost the cup and put it away. First inside. Not only have one, continue to look for the second, third, and take each one, even though not as big as the first, but so satisfied. Just start enjoying the first shell. Do a pinch of head and tail as usual. Gave it to Lucy, and she didn't like it, so Mai ate it first. Put it in his mouth. There was an explosive feeling immediately after eating one. He shivered. feeling so comfortable. My didn't have much reaction after that. When Lucy ate this dish, she accidentally let one slip out. She was having trouble and needed to clean it. Clean water first. Then, she put it in her mouth. Before she could bite it, Lucy threw it away immediately. She tried to calm down, then rinsed it with water, quickly threw it in her mouth. After chewing for a while, it tasted not so bad. I enjoyed the last one just like this. They were 3/4 full after, then continued to row the boat in. Many more hours passed. The sun had set in the west, then waited until the two climbed to a big tree with no soil found today, so they had to spend the night in the canoe. Need to take advantage of time to find a place to rest. Although conditions are limited, but tomorrow still has an idea to find a way to hang a hammock on the canoe. Lucy discovered on the tree behind there were many poisonous kills. Began to worry. I encouraged her to hold on to the tree trunk to stand firmly. Lucy, unable to do so, I had to come and help to